Hey guys, welcome back to Dislyte. In today's video, I want to do a bit of a free-to-play guide to Kronos 10 and just Kronos progression in general. I finally got my free-to-play account to a point where I'm happy to keep farming it. I'll show you the last 80 runs. I took screenshots of my last 8-10 runs to show you the success rate so far. It's still not 100%, but in this game, due to the fact that you only lose 1 stamina when you fail a run, running at about 60 to 70% success rate isn't too bad. Now, one thing I want to get across at the start is when I do these videos and talk about free-to-play teams, free-to-play units, yes, if you're a free-to-play player and you summon a 5-star shimmer, that's free-to-play. In YouTube land and guide land, I'm doing this with farmable free-to-play units that everyone can obtain without needing luck. That's what it is in my free-to-play tier list. I had that comment a lot. So yes, it's free-to-play if you're free-to-play and you get something, but I'm just trying to use units that anyone can obtain and use. Now, obviously, we do use Li Ling in this because, in my opinion, he's obtainable by anyone at the start. If you don't have him, I'll talk about replacements for him in this team and stuff like that. I'll show you all the stats on my characters. I'll talk about different replacements that I think will work. I haven't tested them, so I don't 100% know. And I'll also talk about the progression of getting up here. I do have this in a series of videos of my free-to-play progression in a playlist, and you can look at the gradual progression. And there is the previous one that I did where I was farming Kronos 9, which also has decent 6-star relic drops that you can actually farm Kronos 9 for a little bit, get the relic upgrades that you need to be able to come in here and farm 10. So if you want to check out where my stats were at that stage, you can check it out. But once again, I will show you my relics, I'll show you the team, and basically talk about just all the options for free-to-play players moving into trying to farm Kronos 10. We are on day 6 of this account that I'm now finally farming it. But yeah, it was a bit of a long road, but we finally got here. My other account was farming it in 4 days. So, 2 days more for the free-to-play account isn't too bad. The only difference, the main difference in the team is that on my other account, I had Lin Xiao, who's an absolute beast for everything. So that is the Kronos run. That is the team. We'll go through the stats in a sec. Let's see if we get any good drops. What do you got? Not the greatest. All right, so let's the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and look at this one. So if I show you this, I just wanted to show you guys some drops. So I think it was 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so I recorded 8 screenshots of 10 runs, just so you can see the win-loss ratio, just to get an idea for how this team's doing, and the average time used. So you can see the average run is 2 minutes 30, which is actually decently quick in my opinion. It's not too bad for starting out farming. And I had 8 wins, 2 defeats in that one. This one was 6 wins, 4 defeats. That was a bit sad. Still had a good number of 6 stars though, but like I said, because we're only losing 1 stamina per loss, it's not too bad. Next one was 8 wins, 2 losses. This one has me testing a theory now, because I didn't realize till I looked at all these screenshots. This one actually had another 6-star relic in it as well. Now, this was obviously 10 wins and 0 defeats. The others didn't have 100% win ratio, so they had less relics. However, on my other account, when I get 10 wins, I am not getting 13 relics. I don't know, maybe it's something to do with selling them. It's probably just complete coincidence, but I'm going to test out selling mid-run, because when you're in mid-run, you can look at the inventory and sell them mid-run. I don't know. Just the thing. I don't know if it'll work, but that one was 10 wins. You can see average 2 minutes 26. This one was another 6 wins, 4 defeats. Once again, pretty decent 6-star drops though. This one was 8 wins and 2 defeats. This one was 9 wins and 1 defeat, and you can see we're not getting the 6-star drop, so it's all RNG based. And this one was another 9 wins and 1 defeat. So that is the last 8 runs I did with the exact relics that I do have at the same upgrade that I do have them. Okay, so now let's take a look at the team, talk about the synergy, and then look at the relics and upgrades and stuff like that, and talk about replacements. So first up, Li Ling, he's there for damage. That's pretty much it. I also having him on decent accuracy with his gauge steal is really nice. Now I have him on 0 skill ups. I don't like skilling up Li Ling. I don't think he's worth it in my opinion. Next up, we have Drew. Drew is there also for damage, but also for the defense break. You want higher accuracy than I have. My accuracy lets me down a lot. I often miss the defense breaks, which kind of sucks. I went with a speed based set on both of these guys to get them fast. So I've got speed in the relics, but we'll check that out when we look at the relics. Next up, we have Gabrielle. Now she is there. She just makes this so much easier. So HP lead, fantastic. Have her as your leader. Then you want these 2 skills maxed out. This is why I didn't skill up Li Ling, because you want to max out her 2 skills to get those cooldown reductions. This one is the big one. If you miss out on, honestly, if I maxed this one, if I got this one to max with only using 4 skill ups, I would stop. I'm not too stressed about this one. We do have another defense breaker in the team. This is the big one that you really want to max out. So this ability is just huge. Attack down, defense up, immunity. It's just too strong. It's fantastic. Get around it. Even though she is a negative element to the boss, she still does quite well. Then we have Dahlia. Now, Dahlia, I love Dahlia. I'm a big fan. I know some people don't like her. I'm a huge fan. She's a nightmare to get, but once you do get her, she's nice. I've got her max skilled as well. So when we look at free to play, if you're progressing really fast, by the time you skill up Drew and you skill up Changpu, you don't have enough three-star skillimons to skill up another unit. So Dahlia comes in really well because then you've got Gabrielle, who's skilled up with your 5 stars, Li Ling, who doesn't need them, and then she fits in really well because you haven't used any of your 4-star skill ups yet, so you can max skill her quite freely. Also, don't bother if you get lucky like me. Don't upgrade this skill. It's not worth it. Maybe eventually one day I will, but not now. So this one, she's just fantastic. You've got the attack rate up and crit rate up, which when you see my Li Ling, he's at like 48% crit rate or something like that. This 30% really helps him land those crits, just due to the fact that I don't have great relics for Li Ling yet. Attack up, always really nice, and we do get the turn gauge boost, which also is once again really nice. So that is that one. This one here, this is a really nice ability on a 2-turn cooldown. You know, you get the speed slow. Speed slows are really nice on this boss, slowing down. Often with this speed slow, you can have it where, and along with the Li turn gauge stealing, you can have it where the boss gets slowed down behind the red crystal, so that it's not like, so the boss doesn't go attack you, then the red crystal buffs him, and then he attacks again. Instead, what happens is you push the boss behind the red crystal, so the red crystal buffs him and he attacks, and then they're both back at the start. So it's a really handy thing to have speed slow and turn gauge stealing on the boss in this team. So that is quite clutch. So that is Dahlia, and then the final member of the team is going to be Changpu. I've got her max skilled. You really just want to stack speed, HP, defense, and attack on Changpu. Get those core stats. Her heals are based off her attack, so you want to do that as well. So, you know, it's accuracy is the thing that I don't really care about. I rolled into some accuracy on her stats, but I'm not too fussed about it for this ability, considering I don't have it maxed. So that is the team. Let's quickly look at relics. So him, and keep in mind, like, these are not optimal relics. This is just me making the best of what I had. I have him on crit damage, attack, and speed. I changed both my damage dealers to speed because it just like allowed me to get the defense break more often. It just worked for me. It worked better than having them on attack slow sets. Li Ling is on the Windwalker set because I didn't have any attack, crit rate, or crit damage on the attack sets that were 6-star relics. These ones are pretty average relics, but it was all I had. Drew, I like leaving on that Hades set that you get from campaign. Really nice to have a little bit of extra sustain on him through those. Next up, we do have Gabrielle. Now, I just want her fast and tanky. I've got 2 HP percents here, and I've got a speed here. That's pretty much it. I like accuracy on her as well. Obviously, you want to get accuracy, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world. As long as you can get her fast cycling through, getting that defense and immunity up, it's really nice. Then we move on to Dahlia. Now, Dahlia is also really nice for this, and you just want her fast and tanky. Unfortunately, on the circle, on the Windwalkers, I don't have any more defense percent, HP percent, or attack percent relics. So, you know, she's sitting on this +9 defense flat, a horrible relic. Besides that, this one's at 15 because I stupidly tried to get her to 16 speed sub. Yeah, and that's pretty much where she's at. Once again, I just want her really fast, plus tanky enough to survive. Ideally, I'd have more accuracy on her, but she does pretty reliably land the speed slow. And then finally, we've got Changpu, also on the Windwalker set. Stacking the speed, like I said, I'm struggling on this slot. I can't find anything with a good stat, so she's on a +6 attack flat for that slot. If I upgrade this slot, she'd probably do a lot better, but you know, we are where we are. So that is the team. Now, talking about replacements, And I will do a full guide on like not the free-to-play version, but the everything version, talking about a bunch of different ones that you can sub in all the different options with the 4-star and 5-star units. But that will come in the future. If you're lucky enough to pull another really strong DPS, you know, something like Lin Zhao, the cat lady, she's really good. Chloe is a really good damage dealer. I'm not going to go through them all, but you know, this slot you can replace with anything else with some really good damage. Having the defense break on the kit really helps as well. So, you know, Drew is definitely replaceable, but he's the best, like, you know, 3-star unit to fill this slot. The next one I want to talk about is going to be Dahlia. Now, Dahlia, I do believe, would be replaceable by Yeshua. I just have not, and I will test this, I just have not been able to pull Yeshua. I'm stuck at 20 pieces. Every ripple proc, I'm sort of at the point of just not caring about Yeshua anymore on this account. I'm at 20 pieces, and I just cannot get into one. I fill my friends list up. It's a nightmare for me. But if you have Yeshua, I think she would be a decent replacement for this. Now, if you're using Drew and Changpu and you have them skilled up and you can't skill up Yeshua, you might struggle a little bit. The other thing to consider with her is that you do lose the speed slow on your team. So you're sacrificing speed to have a bit more sustain. I don't know if it would work exactly. It might be better than Dahlia. It might be a little bit worse than Dahlia, but I haven't been able to test it because I don't have her. So I can't say definitively, but if you do have Yeshua and you skill her up and you're using her, just know she's a fantastic unit anyway. So don't stress, like you'll use her in future dungeons anyway. So she's a great unit. And I think she could definitely replace this slot, but those are the two main replacements. Now, Changpu can be replaced by any healer in my opinion. Like I said, on my other account where I have a very similar team, except I have Lin Zhao as my DPS instead of Drew, I use Helena. Now, I know a lot of people hate Helena. I think Helena is actually really good for this. She has the higher uptime of the crit rate buff, so when you're going more offensive, she actually works pretty well for it. Also, her heal happens in one hit, so she can bulk heal whoever has the rock dropped on them, while at the same time topping everyone else off. And then by the next time you need that heal, she can top everyone off again. So I actually do like her, but like I said, a lot of people won't want to build Helena, which I completely understand. So if you have any other like 4-star healers that you want to use, or 5-star healers, you know, Changpu is very replaceable in this team with just about any healer. But those are the main ones you will replace. If you don't have Li Ling, if you say you went for Wukong, I don't know if Wukong works in here. I haven't tested. I don't think Wukong would be the greatest, but maybe you could try going for your 2 DPS like Wukong and Drew, or Wukong and Mona, or you just go Drew and Mona. Now, I don't think those teams will get you to farming Kronos 10 as fast as having Li Ling and Drew. But they're definitely options. Like I said, I didn't want to do this with Wukong, this progression, because, you know, I feel like most people are going with Li Ling anyway. But yeah, the DPS formation of Drew Mona or Drew Wukong or Mona Wukong, I think could be viable. But once again, I haven't tested that. So basically the main unit that's like the core piece that you don't want to move out is Gabrielle, because she's got that HP lead, she's got an amazing kit, and she's fusible. So she's actually really not that hard to fuse. I got a whole video on that, but she's like the one piece that like holds it all together for this early progression. Now, in the future, you may drop her once you get better relics and you look into doing faster teams. But for the beginning, she is just too good not to have in the team. Like I said, Dahlia could be replaced by Yeshua, Changpu by any healer, and then these two based on what DPS units you do pull. Just keep in mind, you probably want to keep at least neutral element, and ideally have a defense break in there, because Gabrielle doesn't reliably land that defense break from what I've found. So, you know, with your 2B DPS, have some single target damage, have a defense break, and you should be pretty good to go. But anyway, that's the relics. If you want to look at what my team was like when I was farming Kronos 9, and I didn't quite have the relics that I have now, and see where the stats are at, I'll leave that video in the description. But once again, guys, hope you guys are progressing well. I will continue with this account using only free-to-play farmable units and go through all the content in the game and hopefully get there. But thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.